Welcome to Ellen Road in Leeds, renowned worldwide for the footballing exploits of Leeds United. But tonight it's hosting its fourth World Club Challenge, and it's the two best sides in recent history. Leeds Rhinos have won 3 Super League titles in a row against the Melbourne Storm, who've been to the last 4 NRL Grand Finals, winning 2 of them. This is the way the two teams will line up. Webb at fullback for Leeds. Then they've got Watkins on the wing for the injured Scott Donald. Delaney has only just passed a late fitness test. Senior and Hall, Maguire and Burrow. The forwards, Luluai, Peacock, Luluai, Diskin, who is the hooker, and Peacock, who is the prop forward. Jamie Jones-Buchanan and Ian Kirk, and Kevin Sinfield, who's the captain. And the bench, it's Badira, Slautiti, Eastwood and Bailey. The coach is Brian McLennan. Now the Melbourne Storm, Billy Slater at fullback, McDougall, Nielsen, Greg Inglis, Quinn, Brett Finch and Cameron Smith. Such talent. Forwards, Tolman, Hinchcliffe, Lima, Blair, Hoffman and Lowry. And the bench here is occupied by Kostjason, Proctor, Cahill and Jesse Bromwich. And the coach is Craig Bellamy. So there they are, the Melbourne Storm. Like Leeds, they enjoyed a surge in form at the back end of 2009. They lost to Manly on August the 23rd. Then they won 5 in a row to take their second NRL title in 4 years. They finished 4th in the table after their weekly rounds, but they were too good come the final series, and they beat Parramatta 23-16 in the grand final. Now they aim to become the first team from the NRL to claim a second World Club Challenge. But the Leeds Rhinos are in determined mood, and they've been focusing on this ever since they won the grand final at Old Trafford last October. But just 2 wins from their first 4 games, including back-to-back defeats against Castleford and Wakefield. It has been a stuttering start by their own high standards to the defence of that Super League crown. Kevin Sinfield, man of the match against Melbourne here in 2008, believes that they are in a far stronger position this year compared to last year when they lost to Manly. And the crowd here, Steve-O, almost holding its breath and wondering what drama is about to unfold.
It's amazing, isn't it? A lot of the fans I was speaking to earlier, and they were saying, I hope it rains. They realise that this Melbourne outfit have got so many stars in the 3-quarter line. And of course the switch from Cameron Smith from hooker to halfback indicates that he'll be more busy than normal in that position. Leeds, of course, they'll be happy that Brett Delaney has shrugged off the hamstring problems, but has he recovered 100%? You look at the Leeds bench and they're all forwards. Brian McLennan obviously wants to go down the middle, route 1 to beat the talent of this Melbourne Storm side. But what happens if, say, Delaney does pull out early in the game? They're really only left with, say, moving Ian Kirk out there into the centres. It's going to be interesting, but you look at this Melbourne outfit and you look at Billy Slater, number 1. Absolutely fantastic player. One of my favourite players, and I reckon the best in the world.
Well, after losing 28-10 at Wigan on July the 14th, Leeds Rhinos went on an 8-match winning sequence. They finished top of the table for the 3rd time in 5 years, and then they won a 3rd grand final in a row at Old Trafford. But this tonight, in many ways, is their defining moment. Fantastic atmosphere. Ellen Road is buzzing, but Billy Slater, 18 tries last year, Melbourne's top scorer, and remember what he did to England in the 4 Nations final on this ground at the back end of 2009. He is phenomenal. But Jamie Peacock, so disappointed that night. Keith Senior defying the age and pain barrier, he says, to be here. They are focused. They want this as much as Melbourne do. And it's a filthy, filthy night. The rain has started to pour down on Richard Silverwood, the match referee, and all the players. And so it's very much an English winter's evening as we take on the men from Melbourne. We shall see. Shrill blast on the referee's whistle. Kevin Sinfield gets us underway. Look at a start, and what a shape. Did Burrow get that? He did.
He did. Tremendous tactics by the coach, Brian McLennan. Kevin Sinfield knew exactly what was happening, and so did the little halfback, Rob Burrow.
I thought for a moment that Burrow had dropped it, but he looked as though he held on somehow, and so Leeds have possession, and they're deep inside Melbourne territory. Sinfield, that's a shock. That's something that Brian McLennan must have planned on the training field in midweek. Diskin is the dummy half. Here now is Peacock. He will drive it in, and the Melbourne Storm here. Back it comes to Burrow from the play the ball. He goes up into the air looking for Ryan Hall. The ball is thrown back. It's a try for Brent Webb. Oh, he's held up, says Richard Silverwood. He doesn't even decide to go to the screen to the video referee, Phil Bentham. He's there and he makes the call himself.
Tremendous effort.
And he's got it right.
He has got it, absolutely. I think it's Luke McDougall underneath. This is a kick-off. Sensational start. Juggled with it, got it eventually. But Luke McDougall has prevented this man from a tremendous start by the Rhinos.
Well, fantastic start, but wonderful defence on their own line by the Melbourne Storm. And over the line, but not managing to touch down in the first set of 6. Well done, Brian McLennan.
You have to think outside the box if you want to seize the initiative in this game. At this level, Leeds have shown invention from the start. But again, they've seen what quality they played against. Even if you get over the try line against a Storm, chance to go on, Kirk.
Ian Kirk, and he has the ball in hand for the Leeds Rhinos. Tremendous charge down by Ian Kirk. He plays the ball to Sinfield. He finds Kylie Luluwai. Leeds could not have wished for a better start than this. And what's more, they have a penalty underneath the sticks because Melbourne are caught offside. Aidan Tolman is looking on very anxiously, and Kevin Sinfield says, let's go for goal.
And I think that is the best decision. Even though they were running hot, great charge down by a tall second row Ian Kirk. Just didn't get the bounce for it, but he made sure that possession was vital.
Seized on the opportunity after Brent Finch's kick was charged down. This is where they're all offside.
Yeah. Brought forward Jeff Lehman leading the charge there, never attempted to get back to 10. You can see how the rain is just teeming down on this very, very soggy Ellen Road pitch already. But these are two vital points.
Well, it was only 11-4 against Melbourne 2 years ago, and Sinfield won the man of the match that night. And he's got Leeds Rhinos off to a splendid start. They must take heart from that, Shaw.
Well, the only way you get a better start, I believe, would be if they'd have scored that try, if Brent Webb had come up with that try. Instead of conceding possession on the first set of 6, they actually, the short kick-off, come up with that play. Excellent defence from Luke McDougall in particular. And then, of course, we have the charge down on on the Melbourne Storm, first set of 6 with the ball. Ian Kirk wasn't blocked coming through, gets a charge down on Brett Finch. 2 points as a result, but Leeds have probably started better than that and probably deserved a bit more out of that.
Well, they lead 2-0, and Cameron Smith was just waiting for the kicking tee to come from the sideline.
This is where Leeds have to be alert. It happens so much. They've got it covered.
Brent Webb was the man on the end of the kick-off, and the charge led by Adam Blair and company. And that is Dane Nielsen, who is entangled with Kylie Luluwai on the floor. Here is Jamie Jones-Buchanan for Leeds. Tackled by Brett Finch, whose kick was charged down. Diskin at dummy half. Burrow. Rob Burrow will remember the World Club Challenge. He was flattened by Manly last year. Had to leave the field. Here is Keith Senior. Keith Senior, his 4th World Club Challenge. This a try in last year's defeat against Manly. The kick from Burrow, early in the count, picked up by Billy Slater.
Not the best, really. Should have gone towards the corner.
The speed of Melbourne as well is something that the Leeds Rhinos will have to watch during the course of this game. They beat St Helens 44-6 10 years ago. it remains the highest score, the biggest victory that this competition has ever seen. And we've been told repeatedly this week that they are not here just to make up the numbers. And this is a high tackle here from Jamie Peacock.
Didn't miss him, did he?
Right into the face of Aidan Tolman.
Well, I'm sure Leeds have done their homework, Eddie, and are fully aware that the Melbourne Storm were the best side in the NRL. When they get that strip of land 10 metres or less from the try line, they invariably convert it into tries. This is now where Leeds' focus and concentration needs to be at its very best.
A drive in here from Jeff Lima, the New Zealand international. Played a couple of years ago in this match, tackled Maguire in the 22nd minute. It's Adam Blair trying to spin away from trouble, and Leeds on the back foot here and trying to keep Melbourne at bay. Hinchcliffe was the dummy half. And it's a penalty now to Melbourne for offside on their own line from the Leeds Rhinos.
Well, not one of them had their both feet over the whitewash. Looks like they're going to take the two as well. Very cautious start from both sides. Jamie Jones, Buchanan. Diskin was also the culprit as well. Peacock had gone early.
Okay, got it.
It'll be very interesting in regards to the tactics early on. We've seen Brian McLennan, that the kickoff was absolutely superb, Sean.
It was, Steve, and I think the conservative approach from both sides here is due to the rain. I think that both sides have summed this up already and think, well, there may not be a lot of points scored. We're not sure. If it goes away, it might allow us to open up a bit. But because of the tightness in the first 5 minutes of this match, I'm not surprised that Cameron Smith is trying to even the score up here. I think they're realising that handling could be a bit of a problem later.
He's the leading point scorer in Melbourne history, this man, Cameron Smith, captain of the grand final winning sides, 2009-2007. And no problems. Left foot of Cameron Smith over the top of the bar. Two apiece at Ellen Road. Bill.
Eddie, the weather forecasters have got it just about spot on. It was predicted that conditions would deteriorate the nearer the game came, and that's exactly what it has done. The rain has started to come down heavier and heavier. The wind is picking up as well. Billy Slater, in fact, just offered his services to hold the ball for that penalty kick there, because it's just starting to gust a little bit. They said there was going to be another storm in town this afternoon. I think it could be that way.
Here's Adam Blair for the Melbourne Storm.
I think also, Eddie, is with that both sides have been pretty cautious with the fact that Melbourne only had one hit out against the Harlequins last week, of course, and we all know here in this country that Leeds have had a little bit of a stuttering start to Super League, so we really don't know what to expect.
Cameron Smith, a deep kick and turn Webb around. He just had to retreat for that, collects it 10 metres from his own line, picks up pace, tries to go inside Dane Nielsen. His hands in the face there by Adam Blair as well. He wouldn't like that. Brent Webb, although he gets up smiling. Here is Keith Senior.
Well, that's the sort of thing that the touch judge surely has seen. I mean,
Jamie Jones Buchanan, meanwhile, for the Leeds Rhinos. This is tackle number 3. Adam Blair, New Zealand World Cup winner in 2008.
I'll tell you what, that's different from the referee, Eddie. We don't normally see allow a 5-second play the ball there. The speed with which players will be able to hold down the attacker, and he won't blow the whistle.
Rob Burrow with the left-footed kick towards the corner, and Slater will pick it up. Of course, Melbourne Storm have been used to playing with 2 referees in the NRL last year, but look at that defence from the Leeds Rhinos, playing under a different system here tonight. Melbourne, with just Richard Silverwood in the middle.
Great work there by Matt Diskin. Eager, better low. Peacock helping out as well.
That's a good run from Luke McDougall. Signed from Newcastle Knights. He's on his debut here. Tolman is dropped to the ground just inside his own half. Smith gets the ball away, but that's good defence.
Yeah, Brian McLennan has got the outside 3/4 coming in on the angle, that not had any opportunity to get it out wide. No chance yet to see the superstar Greg Inglis. Leeds have to keep Inglis quiet tonight.
It was a low kick this time from Brett Finch. There is Greg Inglis, number 4, the current holder of the Golden Boot, as the world's best. Referee shouts them to stand up, but the crowd getting on the back. Oh, that's a mistake. That is a mistake. You can't do that. Kirk's pass and Sinfield with the knock-on. No, Sinfield with the pass and Kirk with the knock-on. And Sinfield couldn't touch it because he would have been offside had he picked that up. He was in front of the player.
Just a lack of concentration there. Kirk, he just overran it.
It's a different game to the one I've been watching in this country for a while. The amount of time that the defenders are allowed to remain in the contact and stay on the man in possession, Eddie, it's new to me.
But there's a lot of surrender calls coming out from Richard Silverwood, although I think the players might be having some trouble hearing him. He sounds like his voice might be struggling a little bit. But if you get a surrender call, you are allowed to spend more time in the tackle. And there are quite a number of those coming out. Players are losing their feet very quickly. Therefore, the defenders can stay on for a little bit longer.
McDougall plays the ball, and that is Hinchcliffe. He got the pass away, and Lima takes the tackle. It's the third one, this set of 6. Hinchcliffe again. Now Cameron Smith attacking the line. Short ball. It's a great ball as well. And Hoffman just clawed to ground a couple of metres away. They go wide, and he's dropped the ball.
He's lost it. That'll be the scrum down.
Inglis has dropped the ball. Headline news.
They had the numbers there. That was good work. Danny Maguire got right into his chest. No chance of an offload. Look at this. Boom. Knocked it straight out. Impact. Such a massive player.
Remarkable to think he's only 23 years of age as well. Greg Inglis, he seems to have been around for an eternity, doesn't he? We've been talking about him for years. Referee not happy with the way the ball was fed then by Rob Burrow.
Well, the Rhinos will be happy, Eddie, that they didn't give away the try when Ian Kirk dropped the ball in a very, very dodgy area as far as they were concerned.
Keith Senior, and to go past Nielsen and past Tolman, that could not do.
It's going to take something very special to break down this Melbourne defence. The coach, Craig Bellamy, he concentrates on that.
Diskin, Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
Now, can Leeds get anywhere near the halfway mark? Then they can start to control the game with the kick. Crowd do not like this interpretation by the man with the whistle.
Last tackle here for Leeds Rhinos. There's the penalty. I'm sure that Craig Bellamy and Brian McLennan will have had a meeting with someone regarding the rules and interpretations at Red Hall this week.
Yeah, I think they're both, Brian McLennan, as you say, Craig Bellamy, they would have been discussing because of the different attitude, as Eddie has already mentioned, 2 referees down under.
This is Peacock now driving it in. And the referee blows the whistle again. And he wants a word this time with Adam Blair.
Just give a penalty away. You've got to move on the move call. There, you're straight around the head. You can't use the head as a lever, okay?
Move on the move call. Don't use the head as a lever.
Grapple.
Yep. And that's exactly what he was doing, and trying to throttle Jamie Peacock. They're going for broke here.
Yes, they're going for 6. They're not interested in the 2 that was an offer this time. Burrow will restart. Luluai will drive it in on the first tackle for the Super League champions.
This is where the Rhinos have got to utilise the dummy runner. As I say, they're very well drilled.
Sinfield gets the ball away to Maguire. Maguire, out wide it goes to Callum Watkins. Oh, I think he might have dropped this. The ball came out very quickly. But Leeds are celebrating. They believe that Watkins has scored the try. And it's the first decision tonight for Phil Bentham.
He's lost it. Well, has he lost it? We had a try like this last night, didn't we? He loses it, and it hits the ground. Yeah, that's a knock-on. I thought maybe he could have just got the fingertips to it.
So effectively, they've been over the line twice now, but have failed to score the try.
No try, and it's a 20-metre restart. Callum Watkins and Brent Webb so close to early scores here for the Leeds Rhinos, but not to be. just a fraction of a second. The ball just coming out of his grasp there. But Brent Webb was held up over the line.
But the tactics were there. The fact Brian McLennan has got them working. Danny Maguire's long pass missed out the two centres. Straight to Watkins.
They've had two chances, Steve-O. Two chances.
As I say, it was only Luke McDougall that stopped that one. It was Slater that came late. But he just lost control, did Callum Watkins.
This is Slater again. 14 minutes gone, it's 2 points apiece. And we talked last night, didn't we, about the chances that went begging for the Castleford Tigers. It cost them the match in the Super League against Hull Kingston Rovers. Everyone, of course, with Super League colours on tonight will hope that Leeds Rhinos will not be caught out in the same way here. This is Ryan Hall.
But when you think about it, you know, that two chances in the first 14 minutes, it won't be good acting as a negative for them. They'll be quite positive about it because they know they can breach them. They breached them with a kick. They were all over the shop with a Storm. And then that long pass out wide, straight to the winger, Watkins, means that they have the pace.
I think, to be fair, though, to the Melbourne Storm, you've got to give them credit for the first chance because Leeds Rhinos weren't necessarily entitled to score that. Brent Webb was wonderful defence. The criticism of the Rhinos would be on the second try. Callum Watkins really should have controlled that ball. The most, you know, a good winger scores that try, there's no doubt about it.
This ball has got snow on it. Nobody seemed to want it. It's found its way somehow to Ryan Hall. It's still the last, and Leeds actually have lost a bit of momentum there. That's the turnover. Controlled restart for Richard Silverwood.
Wait. Go. Play it.
Finch was the man at dummy half. Here is Dane Nielsen. He got a couple of tries last week in the warm-up game against Harlequins down there at the Twickenham Stoop. Good hit by Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Remember the hit that Jamie Jones-Buchanan put in on Steve Turner against Melbourne here a couple of years ago? That almost turned the game. It really lifted the Leeds Rhinos. That ball went backwards out of the grasp of Todd Lowry, and it was the hooker, Ryan Hinchcliffe, who was first to react. Cameron Smith gets it inside to his prop forward, Tolman.
And once again, we see the Rhinos out wide, coming in on the angle. They're blocking everything the Storm are trying to do to get it out wide. That's
Cameron
a good
Smith
kick, though.
with a kick towards the corner. Oh, and Brent Webber's got work to do here because here come the chasers. What a hit, what a run from Hoffman that was.
And what a kick. Right into the corner, teasing the full-back.
And Brent Webb is hurt there.
Not surprising, the impact.
How on earth did he get this ball to stop in the in-goal area on a night like this? And look at the chase. Bump. And if he missed him, Greg Inglis wasn't far away either.
Oh, Hoffman put everything into that.
Time's off.
They work hard down under, I can assure you, under the eyes of their coach, Craig Bellamy.
And they haven't come here tonight just to be the opposition. They've come here to win this trophy. That was the message we've had all week. The goal line dropout finds its way into the arms of Luke McDougall.
Move, Gally.
A big test coming up here of this Leeds defence in the 16th minute. And they've made a change there. It's Kevin Proctor. Tall, rangy figure, mop head of a haircut, and here now is Tolman. Rising star, this fellow with a big future, they reckon, Aidan Tolman. The hooker, Hinchcliffe, pointing at the defensive line. They switch the direction of the attack. Here's Cameron Smith, gets the ball away to Slater. That's good defence from Callum Watkins on Greg Inglis. They're doing a job on the big man so far. Cameron Smith at dummy half. Ball's played inside. Good quick hands. Here's Proctor.
Great tackle by the little fella.
How did he get that away? Last tackle here for Melbourne. Hinchcliffe fires the pass to Smith. He'll slide the kick in. Oh! Maguire might have missed that. Or did he ground it behind his own goal line? I think he's grounded it.
Yep, slid right over. It'll be a dropout underneath its sticks. It's a neat kick, wasn't it? He did well, Maguire, to get to it because he was under a lot of pressure from Billy Slater.
Eddie, I joked before the match about some of the Leeds players going through a near-death experience. The lungs are probably beating and the heart's beating out of the chest at present here now. Second consecutive goal line dropout. The quality of Cameron Smith, you see the players are onside. Both short and long kicks. The accuracy and the timing of the chase have won them possession again.
Sinfield with the goal line drop out, straight into the arms of McDougall again. McDougall will want to make an impression tonight. As I say, this is his debut here, having been signed from the Newcastle Knights. Here is Nielsen.
Pretty crafty play as well by the Storm, as they went one way and then switched it back, and they were standing very deep in attack.
Todd Lowry gets to his feet, plays the ball to Hinchcliffe. He will find Brett Finch. Finch will turn it back inside to Proctor, and Proctor going for the line. New Zealand-born Kevin Proctor will play it here to Hinchcliffe. Back it goes. Oh, they've dropped it. It's Adam Blair. Leeds survive, and that's a huge confidence boost for them.
Certainly is. Big second rower and the opportunity. I think perhaps that Adam Blair was looking for someone to scoot around in a run-around system. There was someone coming back on the inside, took his eyes off the ball and lost it. And Leeds will be in no hurry to set the scrum.
You know, it's no secret in our game that if you're going to win matches, you've got to be able to defend your line. The Leeds have repelled the Melbourne Storm there on 3 occasions. They've been strong at marker, they've been strong coming off the line. They've actually thwarted some of the plays that Melbourne Storm were coming up with there. If they can maintain that sort of intensity for this match, they've obviously got to give themselves a great opportunity to win.
Sinfield spinning out of a couple of tackles, can't get away from the last two in, who were Tolman and Hinchcliffe.
The speed of the defence from both sides is quite amazing.
Here's the man with the big question mark against him, and they really put him through quite a vigorous test on that hamstring problem before the match. Brett Delaney, he stood up to the opening 20 minutes or so. Again, kicking early in the tackle count, but the ball bouncing very kindly for Slater, who's got ground ahead of him as well. Just pops it up then to Luke McDougall. Midpoint of this first half, tight as a drum at Ellen Road in the Gillette World Challenge. It's 2 apiece.
I think the biggest test for Leeds, Eddie, tonight will come at some point when Cameron Smith starts to go into the dummy half position. We'll see him there, the creativity. At the moment, he's playing a little wider, and Hinchcliffe's the man standing behind the play of the ball. But at some point in this game, Smith will go in there and show us what expertise is.
I think that'll be the moment when Rory Cost-Jason comes on, this young man who has been the surprise inclusion on the bench wearing 14. Because when he comes on, I think that is the time when Smith might go into hooker. We shall see. At the moment, they're persevering with Ryan Hinchcliffe, who's his understudy in the NRL. And here is Slater. He gets it wide to Nielsen. And Nielsen out the back door, and it's flicked on by Slater. Work here for Brent Webb to do again. Slater and McDougall get to him, put him down roughly. No love lost between Slater and Webb. Oh, that was a grab by Hinchcliffe at the head of Ryan Hall.
Well, that should have been picked up. It's getting a bit tasty out there. They were very cautious against each other in the opening 10.
Ryan Bailey has joined the party. Off the bench, his 199th appearance for Leeds tonight, by the way. Peacock. How Peacock, there's Bailey, how Peacock would love to put one across Australian opposition here tonight in his club colours. It was the abiding memory I had of 2009, Jamie Peacock's face at the end of that Four Nations. It really was. I thought, how is he going to pick himself up for this year? But he has.
First, move, hold, go, form the ball, Jamie.
Oh, it looks as though there's a problem for somebody.
I think it's Sinfield. I think he got a kick. Is it? Yes, it is. It's the lead skipper. He got a kick in the leg, I think, as he was down in the tackle for that moment. Here is Cameron Smith.
The biggest problem for the Rhinos is that on the last 2 occasions that the Storm have had possession, they've made good metres forward. The last 5 play the ball's 58 metres down there, and they've made the break.
Fantastic break from Hinchcliffe it was. Good defence from Leeds that pulled him down eventually. Still a couple of tackles here, though, remaining. Oh, up the middle they go. And it's Brett Finch. Here's the last tackle, and they've lined up down this right-hand side, and if it comes here, Leeds are got a bit of a problem on. Cameron Smith lost the ball there. Last tackle still, not the best. Webb picks up for the Rhinos.
Huge sigh of relief. It looks as though there's a problem for Sinfield. I think he'll be coming off. I don't think he can continue on. It'll be a big blow for the Rhinos if that happens.
Ryan Hall, possession for Leeds. Ryan Hall, there's Sinfield, the skipper, will be very reluctant to leave the field. Ryan Hall, who was last year's top scorer in Super League, still to get off the mark this year. Penalty here for offside. There's Sinfield's injury. A couple of flailing boots there. I wonder if he got a kick in the top of the thigh or something.
Well, he's pleading with them to say...
I think Bill's got news. I think Bill's got news, Steve-O.
Yeah, there's no way Kevin Sinfield's going to give this up, and in actual fact, I think he's going to try and run it off. The physio's been out there for one visit, on their way back out for a second one, and the signal to the bench was let's wait and see, and Kevin Sinfield just flexing that muscle at the moment. They have made one change in, Kirk coming off. Greg Eastwood has gone in his place, and in fact, as the physio comes back off the field, it's thumbs up for Sinfield.
Well, that's good news, because they remember when Rob Burrow left the field last year in the World Club Challenge against Manly. It didn't exactly signal the end of their chances, but it didn't help. Here is Eastwood.
We haven't seen a scoot from Matt Diskin yet. Oh, he's on his run now. That's good play.
Diskin finds Peacock! Jamie Peacock!
Short.
So close. And a burrowing try from Diskin. No, they repel him as well. Last tackle here.
Far too many bodies there. No way through for the hooker, Diskin.
Maguire tries to slide the kick in. It bounces up, and it has been picked up out of the air by the defender. Danny Vidiris is waiting to come on for the Rhinos, but Diskin has done a fine job for 24 minutes. And now Melbourne have a relieving penalty.
Good play by Brett Finch. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Quick play of the ball. He went so close, did the skipper.
The width of an arm, that's all it was.
I think when Leeds reflect on this, the next two players after Peacock got so close to the line were really poor ones from them. There was no real threat. Melbourne's defence was stretched out wide. There was chances and spaces, but Diskin took it in, and then they had a pretty unthreatening kick, so it did let the pressure off the Storm.
Jesse Bromwich is on, he's just played the ball. Here's the other substitute, Kevin Proctor. Jesse Bromwich and Kevin Proctor, sorry Steve, are both New Zealanders.
We both knew it was going to be very, very tight, and it is turning out that way, not just because of the weather, but because both sides, their defensive pattern has been pretty strong. In fact, there's only been 2 missed tackles, 1 each from either side, and here we are in the 25th minute.
Good run from Todd Lowry down the left-hand side. Melbourne muscling up in attack now. Bromwich, the ball comes back. Oh, and he wipes the tackle count clean.
Yeah.
Greg Eastwood, the referee says it's off Greg Eastwood, and Greg Eastwood shakes his head.
No, he definitely touched it.
That's the first tackle this set of 6, and it was on Anthony Quinn. Hinchcliffe fires the pass out wide, goes further wide. Inglis, good hands, and it's Hinchcliffe again. Wonderful Leeds defence. Brett Webb at the heart of it.
That's the only word for that. Sensation. You talk about digging deep. It was a neat offload, wasn't it? And the hooker went so close. 3 into 1 doesn't go.
Leeds survive another raid. 2-2. 26 and a half minutes. Did we expect this, Sean? Did we expect it to be as tight as this?
Well, I did. I didn't think there'd be much between the sides at all, Eddie, but I would be concerned if I was in the Melbourne Storm camp by the field position they've had, the amount of possessions they've had, yet they haven't yet converted it. Now, that might come a bit later. I believe they've taken a lot of energy out of Leeds at the moment. I'm looking at their forward pack. They're starting to walk a little bit. They're just lacking a little bit of energy at the moment, coming out of their own half. Although that's a terrific run by Keith Senior. But certainly the Melbourne Storm should be capitalised on some of this field position and possession.
I think Leeds are getting a little bit frustrated by the amount of time that the Melbourne Storm are being allowed to hold on to the player on the ground. Badiris waits to come on. And also there is Big Ali Lautiti. Are they the X factor for the Rhinos? Burrow. Cut down by the tackle from Hinchcliffe. Last tackle it is here. Brent Webb, left-footed, easy for Billy Slater. He's almost drawn to the ball, Billy Slater, like a magnet, isn't he?
And that surprised me that the Leeds are not aiming into the corners. You know, putting with a lot of power. It's very slippy out there. It'll skid around with that football.
Diskin goes off, very good 27 minutes from him. Badiris comes on. Proctor runs straight at Bailey. Two more in there to bring him down. Peacock, one of them. Here's Hinchcliffe again. Gets the pass away to Cameron Smith. Oh, and that was a bit of a swing from Cameron Smith.
Well, Cameron Smith comes up with an error, very rare, is usually very safe. Well, did Maguire milk it? I don't know. Either way, they've got position and possession.
Well, you need somebody special if you're going to penetrate the Melbourne defence. Allow it to Marcus Smith. That combination out wide on the left here with Senior Eddie. This could be the key for the first try.
It's with Bailey up the middle. He finds Jamie Jones.
Interesting to see whether Danny Badiris will do a little bit of more skirting from the dummy half position.
Well, here he is. Now he gets it off the ground straight to Burrow. Burrow then back to Brent Webb. Webb to Ryan Hall. Melbourne muscle up in defence down their right-hand side. Webb is there again at dummy half. And he gives it to Burrow. And Burrow finds Jamie Jones-Buchanan, who finds Maguire. And Maguire gives it long and looping to Delaney. And Delaney gives it to Callum Watkins. Watkins dumps it down. And Melbourne Storm come up with the possession. And it's in the arms of Cameron Smith.
Great work by the scrum half, Cameron Smith. It's come loose.
Went backwards, though.
And it's very, very slippy out there. It's going to be difficult for them.
And Sinfield is struggling. He is on the floor and he's limping heavily, and it doesn't look, Bill, as though Kevin Sinfield's going to be out there much longer.
Like it, Eddie. They've decided to try and keep him out there, but in actual fact he's just been a passenger in recent moments and is leaving the field, and that really does open up all sorts of problems for the Rhinos. Not least goal kicking, of course, one of his fortes, but to lose a player of that influence in this sort of fixture at this point in the game is a major blow for the Rhinos.
Yes, it is, because Sinfield is over there on the far side. I'm just checking whether Leeds have made a change to replace him. He's well away from the trainer's dugout. Rob Burrows on the ball now, can kick a goal or two. So they want to keep him out there, and Kylie Luluwai is the man who's been thrown on to replace Kevin Sinfield. So there are problems here for the Leeds Rhinos right now. Sinfield off the field and looking as though he's picked up a bad injury, and here they get a penalty. And Brett Delaney, remember, playing on with that hamstring problem.
Well, that really was far too long to hold down Lauatiti. And not surprisingly, the man with the whistle is just having a few words. Great opportunity now. They need plenty of length on this. But just watching that passage of play there that leads in possession. Billy Slater, the Melbourne Storm full-back, he was so deep anticipating the kick, and maybe there's an opportunity of, say, like the likes of Maguire or Burrow, a little chip over the top of this strong Melbourne defence.
Badiris at dummy half. There's been some fantastic clashes between Badiris and Cameron Smith over the years, but I think that picture tells the own story that perhaps we will not be seeing Kevin Sinfield out there again tonight. Here's Lauatiti. Good tackle low down. It was Brett Finch. Here is Badiris again. Jesse Bromwich is all over him. And so too was Cahill, Burrow and Maguire. Jones Buchanan, last tackle for Leeds. They're saying he lost it. Cameron Smith's appealing that he lost it. It's a penalty to Leeds. Greg Inglis was convinced that he'd lost it as well.
Well, they tried to damn this to say to the touch judge and the official. He did, but he caught it with his legs. Slips out of the hands.
Between his knees, didn't touch the ground. Well, they have a penalty now. Will Rob Burrow take the 2 points on offer here? Yes, he will. Now, that's confidence for you.
Well, that surprised me, because they turned down the offer a short while ago and went for broke. and nearly came up with a try. How's this for control with the knees?
Cameron!
Not Mother Brown, it's Jamie Jones Buchanan. Did ever so well, and English messing around in there.
Is this Australian style? Because Phil picked it up in the first 2 minutes. These play the balls are taking an eternity tonight. It's not Super League as we know it.
I think they're testing out the fact they're playing with one referee, Eddie. I think in the NRL with 2 referees, the ruckers are a lot cleaner, a lot crisper. I think tonight they're finding they're just testing it out a little bit. Melbourne have got a lot of numbers in a tackle, as Rob Barrow just has that shot.
And scores. Edges leads ahead 4-2. Just continue with the point, Sean, it's interesting. I say continue with the point, it's interesting this.
The point I was making, Eddie, was that Melbourne Storm get a lot of numbers into a tackle. And because they've got a lot of numbers in, you've got the right, really, to peel off at a set rate. I think what they're doing tonight is taking it to the nth degree and getting away with it in most occasions. Just very occasionally, slightly overboard.
I don't think that that's a bad thing in regards to the Rhinos, because, you know, a few of the forwards looked shot late in this first half, so... You know, it works both ways. Leeds can have a little bit of a rest, because this Melbourne Storm, if they do revert to quick play the ball and running from dummy half, they've got one of the best in the world in Cameron Smith.
Absolutely, Steve. The other thing, too, is if you're prepared to get plenty of numbers in and you're prepared to take the risk, you've also got to be prepared to accept that you are going to be penalised on a few occasions. They're probably on a... I can't believe they're not on a warning now for Simple.
Well, here we go. Tempers are flaring because there was it looked a dangerous challenge, actually.
Well, it picks up Medeiros after he's offloaded. It didn't... And then is absolutely slammed to the ground.
And it's still going on behind the back of the referee. Medeiros is furious.
Well, he could have been seriously injured. To his credit, he just nods to his teammates and said, yeah, I'm okay. But the incident, watch this, he offloads and then Blair just picks him up and bangs him straight down. Not surprisingly, the Leeds players didn't like it. They were hunting Blair. Watch, offload, bang, straight up. And it was Head Cahill that spun him around. It was Blair that came in swinging.
And I think Ryan Bailey, well, he did the right thing there. He didn't have a swing at Adam Blair, did he? He threatened.
Well, Danny Maguire was put to the ground by a stray one on the left-hand side.
Well, a big report coming in.
Okay. 16.
Yeah, they got the right one. Heb Cahill.
Kevin. 16.
He's the culprit that lifts it. Danny Medeiros, listen to the boos.
You can't be feeling this like when you let it go.
No.
The only time you blew the whistle was when they ran in, mate.
Right, listen to me. Listen to me. What you've done, you've tackled him, but you've turned him above the horizontal. Penalty's going against you. We need to count your players running in. Okay? Go and speak to him, please.
Our players running in.
Kevin! Who's the captain?
Cameron Smith's point is that the referee allowed that to go on after the tackle had been made.
Who's the captain?
Well, Rob Burrow's the captain
when
now.
When something happens, you've got to leave me to sort it. Don't want players running in. Go and tell them, please. Penalty's going to you. Leave it, boys. Leave it, boys. Here up. Leave it to me, lads.
I think the right winger heard that, yeah. Great message.
Well, it was a dangerous tackle, but Cameron Smith's point was that the referee hadn't blown for that. The only time he blew the whistle was when the melee started.
Well,
look out now!
It was probably looking and following the ball, Eddie. It was in back play.
Well, there's nothing like a bit of argy-bargy to get things going.
Well, it fired on both sides, that's for sure, but Melbourne will run the risk of giving a penalty.
Not ball against Bailey.
Oh, this one, that's poking. That's poking the stick right into the eye. It's on. Now he's trying to get up and play the ball. That's all he's trying to do.
But he was more concerned with that, wasn't he, than hanging onto the ball. And then look at the face-to-face with Jeff Lima. This is the biggest blow that Leeds have suffered in this first half, Bill.
Yeah, Kevin Sinfield just having strapping applied. It's virtually from his groin down to his knee on that left thigh. So that pretty obviously is the area. Eddie, I have to say I'm just a few feet away from the Leeds Rhinos dugout, which is occupied by Jamie Peacock at the moment. And when that brouhaha was brewing, Jamie was seething. And it's a good job for the Storm that he wasn't out there.
Hinchcliffe, that's a good hit. Lauatiti measured him up. There's Peacock prowling on the sideline. This is Bromwich, meanwhile.
It's got to be controlled aggression, though.
Oh, penalty here. Penalty here. Well, my mind is going back to 1987, the very first one of these matches. Wigan against Manly. We didn't see a try in that, and Wigan won it by 8 points to 2. Are we in for another try-less match in the World Club Challenge?
10 metres, lads.
I think we had some action and fireworks that night. Did Ron Gibbs get a red card at some point in time?
There was a little bit of it, yes, and there was about, well, I think they declared a crowd that night of about 30-odd thousand, and I was there, you were as well, weren't you? There was at least 50.
I reckon that
37,000 they declared.
It was a large wall that a lot of people got over the top, I'll put it that way.
It was a great night.
It was a fantastic night.
And that was the start of all of this. You were just a young boy in you were a young boy in shorts then, Phil.
I just signed for Wigan. I was about 16 years of age, and I went to watch the game, went home terrified, thinking I think I've done the wrong thing.
It was a great match. I remember it very well. Well, we haven't had a try yet, and Cameron Smith here to level the scores up at 4 apiece. Doesn't miss them, does he, Cameron Smith? 2 kicks from Leeds, 1 from Sinfield, who's badly injured, and Burrow, and 2 from that man, Cameron Smith. 4 all here at Ellen Road. Having seen that Kevin Sinfield, Sean, is having his leg strapped from hip to knee, they're thinking of bringing him back, aren't they?
Well, he's a very experienced player, Eddie, so he's going to try everything he can to get on the field. This is a game that they desperately want to win. But a guy like Kevin Sinfield, if he's on the field, he'll be so influential, not only with his kicking game, but his leadership, his direction around the field. You see, it provides Leeds with a 3-pivot attack. If he's able to play in the middle and have Barrow on the left and Maguire on the right, it changes the whole way they can play their offensive plays.
And they say preparation is the key. Well, Melbourne Storm think of everything, because while Cameron Smith was lining up that penalty, they had one of their backroom staff out there on the pitch with a brush, from a dustpan and brush it looked like, and he was brushing the other players' boots. The mud is sticking out there, it's very sandy, and they were making sure that everything was right.
Oh, Eastwood's taking no prisoners.
Oh, come to daddy.
Bromwich felt that. Here's Cameron Smith. But the last thing that Leeds need to do is to start to lose their heads here. Controlled aggression, I think, is the phrase that some of these coaches use.
Oh, nice run round.
Beautiful handling skills. Oh, and he's away, Nielsen, from Ryan Hall.
3
Minute to go to the half-time siren. 3 tackles remaining. And here is Jesse Bromwich. Down he goes under a challenge from Kylie Lulawai. Hinchcliffe, Slater, look out. Well done, Senior rather. He stopped Adam Blair. Can he stop Billy Slater? It's going to be 6 to go. They're in! They're in with Hinchcliffe. The referee will hand it upstairs, but I didn't see much wrong with that. Phil Bentham has a decision to make. But Ryan Hinchcliffe looks like he's got the try here. Right on the stroke of half-time. Nothing wrong. Oh, now then. Now then, is there a hand there?
Yeah, but is it the Leeds hand?
Is it Billy Slater's hand?
It's hard to say. This is a build-up to it. Good tackle, good defence from Keith Senior. And then Ryan Hinchcliffe puts in the kick. It ricochets away, then comes back up. And the hooker, who's impressed me, he's having a fine game, is this Ryan Hinchcliffe. Does Slater touch it? Oh, it's hard to see there. Watch Slater, he's number one. Has he touched it?
Yes.
He has. It's a knock-on, it'll be no try. Well, when we thought we were going to get the first try of the game, this is a kick from the hooker. Comes off Bailey. I think we'll have to turn it down there. Phil Bentham is the video referee tonight. This will be confirmation of the NOTRY.
Try is denied. It's the knock-on by Billy Slater. He thought he'd scored, Ryan Hinchcliffe, sub in the grand final last year.
It'll be interesting, Eddie, if the scores are still locked at the end of 80 minutes. The Storm have actually experienced twice last year. Golden point. The first point scorer in extra time wins the game. In fact, over there, they won the round one game against St George Illawarra with a drop goal, amazingly, by Greg Inglis. We see him as a great athlete. He's also a skillful player when it comes to the drop goal.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? The prop forward, Jeff Lima, and Kylie Lulawai were just having a little natter and big smiles on the face.
Just a reminder, if at the end of the next 40 minutes the scores are locked, as Phil says, golden point will come in to being. That's the end of the first half. No tries in the World Club Challenge. Sinfield's penalty goal, 3 minutes. Smith's penalty goal, 7 minutes, 2 apiece. Burrow's penalty goal, 33 minutes, 4-2. Smith with a penalty, 2 minutes from half-time, 4 all. And the Melbourne Storm having a try disallowed by the video referee. And, of course, Leeds getting over the line twice, but not being able to score.